Hello guys. Big day. Alabama missed the playoffs last year. Prominent college football analyst says it won't happen again. Let's break it down. Bama went through a transitional year in 2024. Not that this is anything out of the ordinary for the team's mind-blowing standards, but the truth is that the first year under Kalen DeBoer brought unexpected challenges. With a 9-3 record in the regular season, the team missed the playoffs for the first time since its inception, marking a rare moment of frustration for fans. And as if that weren't enough, came the loss in the bowl game, an even tougher blow for a program accustomed to dominance. But as is always the case in Tuscaloosa, optimism is beginning to resurface, and voices inside and outside the program are growing stronger in predicting a very different future in 2025. Josh Pate recently visited Tuscaloosa and came away with a positive impression. During an appearance on Next Round, he got straight to the point: Alabama has what it takes to return to the playoffs in 2025. Yes, I expect them to make the playoffs this year, Pate said without hesitation. He also emphasized that the team could even contend for the SEC title, something that seemed far away last year. Pate's confidence isn't coming out of nowhere. It reflects a general sense that the groundwork laid by DeBoer is starting to pay off, albeit slowly. The big change Pate highlighted was consistency. It may seem like a technicality, but in college football, especially at a giant program like Alabama, the difference between being good and being great often comes down to that: the ability to deliver solid results week in and week out. Last year, the Crimson Tide showed clear signs of competitive bipolarity. On the one hand, there were bright spots, like a win over Georgia, one of the strongest teams in the country. On the other, shocking losses to teams like Vanderbilt and Oklahoma left deep scars. This roller coaster of performances simply does not fit Alabama's DNA, and DeBoer knows that better than anyone. Pate also touched on a crucial point about the modern game: the margin for error has shrunk dramatically. In the Nick Saban years, Alabama's physical and tactical superiority often allowed the team to survive tight games. Today, however, one-possession games are more common than ever. This new landscape demands perfection in every aspect of the game, from tactical execution to clock management. If Alabama can raise its game in these decisive moments, when the pressure is greatest, it is likely to become a dominant force again. And there is real reason to believe that. Alabama's roster remains one of the most talented in the country, and the influx of new recruits promises to further strengthen the roster. In addition, DeBoer has had a full year to shape his philosophy and establish his identity. In the first year, any transition brings adjustments and uncertainty, but now, with more time and experience, he is likely to be able to maximize the potential of the group. After all, we are talking about a coach who has shown in other places that he knows how to win important games. Of course, the road back to the top will not be easy. The SEC, as always, will be full of tough opponents, and the competition for the playoffs will be fierce. Teams like Georgia, Texas, and Ohio State will continue to be gigantic obstacles. But Alabama has something that few programs can match: a culture of excellence ingrained in every corner of the campus. Even in difficult times, the Tuscaloosa machine keeps on chugging along, fueled by the almost religious passion of the fans and the mentality that losing is not an option. Josh Pate's words echo as a warning to the rest of the country: Alabama is coming back. And when this team takes the field with confidence and purpose, few can stand in its way. It remains to be seen whether DeBoer and his players will live up to expectations, but for now, at least, optimism is high. Let's keep moving forward. Nick Abrams, a 2026 linebacker who promises to be a central piece of any program he chooses. With an official visit scheduled for June, Abrams is about to dive headfirst into the world of Alabama, evaluating not only what the team offers on the field, but also how he can fit into the academic and personal life he's looking to build. Abrams, a four-star prospect out of McDonough School outside of Baltimore, Maryland, already has a clear vision of what Alabama wants from him: leadership. During his conversations with Kalen DeBoer, Chuck Morrell, and Courtney Morgan, it was clear that the Crimson Tide sees Abrams as someone who can take over the defensive reins from day one. For a player already known for his tactical nous and versatility, this early trust from the Alabama staff is a big deal. Abrams doesn't just want to play, he wants to be the engine of the defense, the one who controls the plays and inspires his teammates. And it seems Alabama is willing to give him that opportunity. But football, especially at the college level, is about more than what happens between the white lines. Abrams knows that better than anyone. He's not just looking for a place to play, he's looking for an environment where he can thrive as a student and as a person. His aspiration to major in finance with a minor in real estate shows that Abrams has ambitious plans for the future, and he wants to make sure the program he chooses aligns with those goals. During his official visit, Abrams plans to closely observe how current players interact with the coaching staff and how the program operates as a whole. He wants to get a feel for the family atmosphere that Alabama values so much in its recruiting narrative. And so far, at least in his initial interactions, Abrams seems impressed. He pointed to the fact that Kalen DeBoer is one of the few coaches who has actually spent time getting to know his family personally, something many players deeply value. That transparency and effort to build genuine relationships could make all the difference when it comes time for Abrams to make his decision. On the field, Abrams is seen as a highly valued middle linebacker for his ability to read the game and quickly adjust defensive formations. Alabama, known for developing linebackers who are as adept at the intellectual game as they are at the physical, seems like the perfect place for Abrams to further hone his skills. However, he is also being courted by other big names in the game, including Georgia, Michigan, and Oregon, all of whom are making similar claims about how they can help him grow as a player and leader. The official visit will be a defining moment for Abrams. He will have the chance to get a deeper look at Alabama's defensive scheme, understand how it fits into the game plan, and see where he stands within the program. But most importantly, he will be evaluating the whole package. Alabama needs to convince him that it is more than just a springboard to football success. It needs to show that it can be the perfect home for his academic and professional goals. When Abrams leaves Tuscaloosa after his official visit, he will have a much clearer idea of where his future might lie. What about basketball? Labaron Fillain's college basketball career is one of those stories that makes fans and analysts wonder, is this just another Alabama diamond? Since arriving as a four-star recruit, Fillain has shown that he is something special. And now, with the possibility of being drafted in the NBA after just one season, he is not only putting his name in the spotlight, but also reinforcing the legacy of the program led by Nate Oates. Coach Nate Oates, always optimistic and enthusiastic about his players, did not hide his excitement when talking about Fillain's future. During the Senior Bowl Charity Celebrity Golf Classic, Oates got straight to the point, "We're getting really good feedback from the NBA." That statement may seem simple, but it carries a lot of weight. For a player who started the season without being on the radar of many league scouts, this meteoric rise is a testament to the impact Fillain has had on the team and on the vision of the professionals who closely follow the development of young talent. Fillain, a mobile Alabama native, has all the makings of an even bigger success story than many expected. He arrived with the Crimson Tide without much fanfare, but he quickly made his mark. Averaging 10.6 points, 3.8 assists and 3.3 rebounds per game, he has proven himself to be a versatile and reliable player. His 45.2% shooting from the field and 31.5% shooting from three-point range shows that while there is still room for improvement on the perimeter, he already has the tools to compete at the highest levels. But what really impresses about Fillain goes beyond the numbers. As Oates pointed out, he is ultra-competitive. This aggressive and resilient mindset is what separates the good players from the great ones. In addition, Fillain has an incredible basketball IQ, knowing exactly where his teammates are on the court and how to create opportunities for both himself and the team. His ability to lead the offense as a point guard, combined with his respectable size for the position, makes him a valuable asset in any offensive system. Of course, there are areas that need to be refined. Oates mentioned that Fillain needs to improve his shooting, especially from distance. But here's the thing, he's not a terrible shooter. On the contrary, his potential is high, and with consistent repetitions, there's a good chance he'll improve significantly in that area. That means that even if he's drafted now, there's still plenty of room for growth in the NBA. And that's exactly what teams look for in young prospects, someone who already has tangible skills, but who's also willing to work to reach his ceiling. Fillain's current ranking as ESPN's number 47 prospect in the draft is just the beginning. He has all the traits that NBA teams value: competitiveness, playmaking intelligence, versatility, and a leadership spirit. Participating in the draft combine will be crucial for him, as it is where he will be able to showcase his skills in a controlled environment, face-to-face with the league's top decision-makers. If he performs well in the physical tests and workouts, his chances of being selected in the first round increase considerably. For Alabama, Fillain's potential entry into the draft would be another milestone. The program has already advanced to the Elite Eight in consecutive seasons for the first time, and now it can celebrate the development of a player who arrived as a regional prospect and could leave as an NBA draft pick after just 1 year. This not only reinforces Nate Oates' reputation as a coach capable of molding talent, but it also attracts other players with professional aspirations to the Crimson Tide. However, the final decision is still up to Fillain. He has until the deadline to decide whether to remain in the draft or return to college. Should he choose to return, Alabama will have an extremely competitive team for the 2025-26 season, with Aden Holloway, Houston Millette, Latrell Wrightsell Jr. and Aiden Sherrill forming a solid core alongside him. But if he does move on, his departure will be a win for both him and the program, proving once again that Alabama is a great NBA player. Comment below.